In a world where words often lose their impact, where noise and superficiality prevail, some questions emerge. Is it possible to prove our worth without saying a word? Can we truly understand the intentions of those around us without relying on their words? Ancient Stoic philosophy answers these questions with a resounding yes. The Stoics believed that courage, a crucial human quality, is best shown through actions, not words. Did you know that a whopping 76% of our audience are enjoying our videos without subscribing? Don't let yourself be part of that statistic. Push that subscribe button straight away and become part of our community. You wouldn't want to miss another second of our latest and greatest content, would you? Step into our subscriber circle today. Today, I invite you on a journey of personal transformation. Discover your true worth and set an example for the world. Stay with me till the end of this video for invaluable lessons that will empower you in the face of adversity. If it's your first time here, please support my channel by subscribing and liking this video so I can continue to bring you more content. In this video, we'll explore the timeless perspective of Stoicism, a philosophy not about suppressing emotions or enduring pain, but about understanding what truly matters, especially in relationships. Before we dive in, let me clarify a common misconception about Stoicism. It's not about being emotionless or indifferent, it's about investing your energy wisely. Let's discuss how to present yourself with dignity in relationships. Often we try so hard to impress others that we lose ourselves in the process. Stoic wisdom teaches us that dignity isn't about the clothes we wear or the places we frequent, but how we act and the choices we make. Picture this. You're at a cafe observing two people on a date. One person tries hard to impress while the other is comfortable in their own skin. Who do you think leaves a more lasting impression? The genuine person, of course. That's the power of presenting yourself with dignity. Stoics strive to live with integrity and self-respect, letting their passions shine without pretense, proving their worth through their actions. Moreover, the way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others treat you. If you respect yourself, value your time, and care for your emotions, you're telling the world that you expect the same respect in return. When it comes to relationships, it's not just about self-image or what you say, but how you react and behave. Are you reacting with desperation or dignity? Are you compromising your values to fit in? Or are you standing your ground, even if it means standing alone? We all face embarrassing moments or make mistakes, but it's how you handle these situations that matters. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you hold your head high and learn from it? Reflect on how you can present yourself with more dignity in your daily interactions. One way is by setting clear and healthy boundaries, communicating what you are willing to accept and what you are not, thus protecting your emotional integrity and establishing mutual respect. Another way is by learning to say no to things that don't align with your values and priorities. This may involve refusing uncomfortable situations or commitments that contradict your principles. By doing so, you reaffirm your right to live by your convictions and show loyalty to yourself. Also, consider treating others with kindness and respect in your daily interactions. Recognizing the humanity in each person and showing empathy towards their experiences helps build more authentic and meaningful relationships. When you start recognizing and valuing your own dignity, you project confidence and self-esteem, influencing how others perceive and treat you. This creates a positive cycle of mutual respect and appreciation for each individual's dignity. Now let's explore how Stoicism can help you understand your worth in relationships. Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, and your self-esteem is entirely within your control. It's not about external validation, like social media likes or friend requests, but how you perceive and value yourself. Imagine you're a precious gemstone. Not everyone recognizes the value of a rare gem. Some may overlook it without realizing what it is, but that doesn't change its value. Gemstones remain valuable, rare, and unique, just like you. Being realistic, we all face rejection at times, feeling not good enough, especially in our hyper-connected world where everyone seems to be living their best lives. But Stoicism reminds us that our worth is not tied to others' approval, but to how we live our lives, our virtues, and our actions. Are you kind, honest, and proud of the way you live? That's where your true worth lies. Stoics emphasized self-reflection. Take a moment to think about your qualities, not just superficial traits, but deeper values. What makes you feel good? Being compassionate, resilient, or a great listener are qualities that define your worth. When you truly know and embrace your worth, it changes how you interact in relationships. You won't tolerate nonsense, not out of arrogance, but because you respect yourself too much to accept less than you deserve. Here's a Stoic exercise for you. The next time you feel belittled, instead of spiraling into self-doubt, reflect on your strengths and values. It's not about becoming arrogant, but about silently acknowledging your worth and deserving respect without needing external validation. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Understand this, and you will find strength." This is particularly true in relationships, where recognizing and appreciating our own worth becomes crucial. Our worth is not determined by others' perceptions, but resides intrinsically in our own self-perception. It's a daily reminder, a constant practice that invites us to cultivate and nurture our self-esteem and inner confidence each day. Upon waking up, we have the opportunity to affirm our worth, regardless of others' opinions or judgments. It's about remembering that we are valuable beings worthy of love and respect, not because someone else says so, but because we firmly believe it at our core. This journey towards self-awareness and self-acceptance leads us to recognize that our worth is not subject to external opinions, but resides in our own essence and authenticity. Each step on this path of self-discovery brings us closer to understanding our true worth. It's a gradual and ongoing process of personal growth, where we learn to recognize and appreciate our strengths, virtues, and unique qualities. As we delve into this inner journey, we discover that our worth is not contingent upon external validation, but lies in our own perception of ourselves. Understanding that our worth is something we can cultivate and strengthen over time empowers us to take the reins of our lives and relationships. It frees us from the need to seek external validation and allows us to live from a place of unwavering self-esteem and confidence. Ultimately, it's about finding strength in our own worth, regardless of whether others recognize it, and remembering that we are worthy of love and respect simply for being who we are. Next, let's talk about acting with boundaries. Show me, don't tell me. This principle perfectly applies when we discuss setting boundaries. It's one thing to tell someone your boundaries, it's another to demonstrate them through your actions. Think about it this way. Anyone can say they won't tolerate being treated poorly, but the moment of truth comes when they actually face that situation. Do you hold firm to your boundaries or let them be crossed? Therein lies your true power. It's not in the saying, it's in the doing. Now, this may not be easy, especially when emotions are involved, but remember what our Stoic friends taught us. Everything is under our control, including the choice of how we react to situations. If someone crosses a line, it's your reaction that defines your boundaries, not your words. For example, if you've made it clear that you value honesty and someone lies to you, how you handle that situation speaks volumes. Stepping away or addressing the issue directly and calmly shows that you take your boundaries seriously, not creating drama but rather respecting yourself and being respected in a way that aligns with your values. This approach can change the game in relationships. When people see that you have boundaries you won't allow to be crossed and also standards and values you're determined to uphold, they start to understand what you will and won't accept. It's about cultivating a sense of self-respect and sticking to it. And here's where it gets truly Stoic. It's not just about the big things, but also about the everyday little boundaries. It's how you react when someone cancels plans last minute, or how you handle it when someone takes you for granted. You communicate through calm actions and words that this isn't okay. Mindfulness practice is much more than just being present in the moment. It's about diving deeply into the experience of here and now, observing mindfully every thought, emotion, and action that arises within us. In this journey of self-awareness, We invite ourselves to question and reflect on how our actions reflect our personal boundaries and core values. By being fully aware of the present moment, we give ourselves the opportunity to assess whether our actions are aligned with our boundaries and authenticity. It's a constant process of self-evaluation, where we ask ourselves if we're acting in accordance with our deepest principles and values, or if we're deviating from our true selves due to external pressures or social expectations. This practice leads us to closely examine every interaction and situation, seeking clues about how we're responding and whether we're staying true to ourselves. It invites us to be witnesses to our own boundaries, to recognize when we feel comfortable or compromised, and to take steps to protect our integrity and emotional well-being. It's in the small moments of everyday life where the true test of our boundaries lies. It's in these seemingly insignificant situations where our true nature and the strength of our character are revealed. Therefore, mindfulness practice challenges us to be present in every moment, to be aware of how we're reacting to life's various circumstances, and to cultivate greater clarity and discernment in our actions and decisions. As we navigate our daily lives and interact with others, we can adopt a somewhat stoic perspective in how we show and establish our personal boundaries. It's not just about imposing strict rules or being inflexible in our interactions. Ultimately, it's about cultivating that internal compass that guides us in how we act and react to different situations. This internal compass, inspired by Stoic principles, invites us to be mindful of our own boundaries and values, and to act in accordance with them at all times. It's not about shutting ourselves off from the outside world or erecting walls around us, but rather about establishing healthy boundaries that reflect who we are and what we value in life. When we begin to live in this way, people around us take notice. They begin to see us as individuals who not only have clear boundaries, but also respect ourselves enough to have them respected by others. It's as if we're emitting an invisible signal that says, "This is who I am, this is what I stand for, and I'm not willing to compromise my principles for the convenience of others." This attitude not only allows us to build more authentic and respectful relationships, but also helps us cultivate a deeper sense of self-esteem and confidence. By living according to our boundaries and values, we become a beacon of integrity and authenticity in a world often filled with uncertainty and confusion. Next, let's discuss limiting access. I know this may sound a bit old-fashioned, perhaps even a bit strict, but hear me out. It's not about playing hard to get, but rather about respecting and understanding your own value. What does Stoicism say about this? It teaches us the art of self-discipline and control, but not in a rigid and inflexible way. It's about knowing what is truly valuable and not squandering it carelessly. In a world of instant gratification, it's like a breath of fresh air. Think about relationships, or when we're dating someone. Often, there's a rush to share everything: our time, our space, our deepest thoughts. But the Stoics would advise taking a step back, because something that is easily available often loses its value. It's human nature. If you're always available, if you always say yes to everything, where's the mystery, the depth, the anticipation? Now let's talk about how to limit access in a dignified and stoic manner. First, it's about how you present yourself. Dress elegantly but modestly. It's not just about fashion. It's a statement of intent that says, "I value myself." You're not hiding, but you're also not revealing too much. For everything, there's a balance, a sense that I'm more than what meets the eye. In a world where we're constantly connected, being selective about who gets your time is powerful. It's not about playing games, but rather saying, "My time is valuable, and I choose to spend it wisely." If you're with someone, be fully present and committed. But when you're not, feel okay about not being available because you're focused on your own life, your passions, your growth. Stoicism also teaches us about emotional self-control. This doesn't mean becoming cold or distant, not at all. It means not allowing anything to affect you deeply. You maintain a certain inner calm, not giving away your emotional energy to just anyone. And mind you, I'm not saying to become a stoic statue. We're all human, and connection is what makes life rich. But there's beauty in taking things slow, in building a connection that isn't based solely on instant access and immediate gratification. It's about building something that has depth, something that endures. Always remember that limiting access isn't about playing with others' feelings or manipulating situations to our advantage. On the contrary, it's an act of deep self-respect and consistency with our own core values. Limiting access means demonstrating, not just with empty words but with concrete actions, that we value ourselves and deserve to be valued by others in the same way. It's a process that involves being a bit more selective in our interactions, a bit more careful in our decisions, and a bit more moderate in our expressions.